All right, so this video is going to be about Canvas question banks, which are a really great way to randomize the questions that a student sees on a quiz or an exam. So to get started with this, we go to any one of our Canvas pages, and we want to go to quizzes. And then once we're here, we get a landing page with all the quizzes we've written so far. You can see I've been practicing with a lot of stuff, so I have a kind of poorly managed space here. But the one of the problems with question banks is they're a little bit hidden. And so we actually want to go up to this ... in the corner and say Manage Question Banks. Once you're here, you'll see all the question banks you currently have. Yours probably starts out empty unless the course has been pre-populated for you. And you can see that I've been writing question banks for a midterm that I have coming up based on or centered around themes. So categorical performance, and this is data analytics course, categorical performance, conceptual questions, more predictive questions. But the goal is if this particular question bank has 13 questions in it, I may only want students to see 5 of those, any given student. And if those are randomized, then as the number of questions in the bank becomes large, the number of the probability that there's going to be significant overlap grows small. So obviously there's a lot of work involved in this because you're writing 2 or 3 or 4 times as many questions as you might need for an individual exam, but these things are saved, and so and you kind of get in a groove where you can write them fairly quickly, and so it is effort, perhaps effort not obviously poorly spent and hopefully well spent by developing good questions once and then dishing those up. But how do we actually use these? So we go back to quizzes. We select the quiz that we want to put the question bank in, and we say edit. When you go to the edit page, you get a dialogue, series of dialogues that are very similar to any kind of assessment or assignment on Canvas. There are various quiz types, and we can talk more about those. You get to put where you want this to be weighted. So I have a category called assessments on my Canvas page under the grading rubric. You can shuffle answers to make sure that, for instance, obviously you just randomize the answers. You can set a time limit. You can show students correct answers. You can allow for multiple attempts. You can assign to some people but not others, and you can set availability date. So like I said, most of this, the reason I go over it quickly, most of this is similar to any assignment. And you just have to play around with the various things and see what you want. To go and actually use the question bank, we need to go to questions. And then here we can either add a question individually, and I'll do a separate video on the various question types and some of the ones that I really enjoy. And some of them are quite good at discouraging academic integrity issues. But right now we just want to use question bank, new question group. We can then link to an existing question bank, and let's say we pick that categorical performance one that we were mentioning earlier. We select that bank, and I can say, let's say 5 questions at 2 points apiece, and I need to hit create group. You have to do this, and now that we've done it, we have, okay, here's a group. We're going to pick 5 questions at 2 points apiece. If I save this this quiz and I get back to the page, I can actually preview it. When I do preview it, I voila, have 5 questions drawn from this question bank. One thing that I've noticed, and I want to see if it's true here too, I'm going to go back down and say keep editing. Well, let's just go back to quizzes. One thing that I've noticed is that sometimes when I do preview twice in a row, I get the same, and it's happening here again. I get the same random, in air quotes, preview. I'm assuming that this is just a artifact, that if you were to do this for real, there we go, good. So I did it again. I just had to reload the page, but it looked like it was not randomizing the questions, but in fact it is. If you just reload, if you go back here and reload the page and preview again, you get a different random selection. Okay, great. So hopefully these will be interesting. I mean, I can obviously see a lot of cooperation amongst teaching teams to populate really good question banks, and then if we can just do this, then after it's done, we can all use these things ad infinitum. So it could be a really good use of everyone's time, even though we're all kind of under the gun right now.